YouTube channel. My name is Bree, and I go by Knots by Bree on all of my social media. If you're new here, I make crochet content. I crochet tapestries, plushies, wearables. I really don't discriminate. And if you enjoy that kind of content, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and engage so that my video gets pushed out to other people in the community who also enjoy crochet content. Before we get started, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and it's this dog. So I play with these with my daughter, and she likes to attach them and then pull them off. Well, I was playing with her and I attached it to my head. I pulled it off, and if you can't see, that's amazing. I did my best to try to cover it up, but I guess she didn't pull them off quick enough, and I have marks on my head from it, and I cannot get rid of them. So hopefully it's not too distracting, but if you do notice it, that's what it is. And so without further ado, I will be showing you the process of crocheting this cute top here. I did get this tutorial from Not Half Bad here on YouTube. I will have her channel and the tutorial linked below. I also crocheted a granny square sweater for my daughter, which you will see at the end of the video. Let's just hop right into it. My husband is being my cameraman. Is it good?
Tell me about the squares and all the 4 squares and the 6 squares.
Okay, so I have created 10 hearts. In total, I'm gonna need 56 to go ahead and create 1 sweater. So that's for my oldest daughter. And then my youngest daughter is probably gonna be around, I haven't done her measurements, but I think it's gonna be about 28 squares. I'm not gonna change the hook size or anything for her squares. I'm just gonna use less. So her squares will be the same size, but her sweater will be smaller because I'll just use less squares. Just to put into perspective, it's like the end of December and I'm already starting on these for Valentine's Day because I have so many ideas for Valentine's Day that I wanna get them going. So I'm gonna get back into these squares and I'll catch you guys later. I'm kind of crying inside right now because I just realized I was using the wrong hook size and I made all of these hearts. So this is the right heart. And then this heart is the one that's too big. I was thinking about frogging them and then redoing the hearts in the right hook size. But I was like, what if I just tried making the squares in the right hook size and leaving the hearts? I don't know. I'm kind of bummed about it. I spent a good amount of time right now making these hearts. You know what? This is why I started the project in December. I'm just going to go ahead and remake the hearts because I just want to do it right. Sad story. I'm going to be taking out all these hearts and redoing them. They're pretty quick though. That's not the problem. It's really this white part that I hate, the granny square part, because for whatever reason, I can't remember this pattern. Not sure if this is the best visual, but for this sweater, this is the front. I'm going to do 2 rows of 3 and then shoulders, and then the arms will be 2 together, and then I only have 3 left, so I need to make 6 more squares so that the back could be 9 across. It'll just be, instead of having a hole here in the back, these will be kind of like the shoulders, so that way the sweater isn't too long, because I still have to add some ribbing. For the arms, I don't know if I'll be able to add ribbing or if I'm just going to do a border around it, maybe not a full cuff, but just something to cinch it in that's pink. But that's the plan for this. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on those last squares. I do think that I have the hearts already crocheted, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add the granny square part. I think I have the pattern written down because I had gotten it from a YouTube video. Okay, so I do think I'm gonna have enough hearts. I need 9, so 1, 2, a girl can hope, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, oh no, 7, looks like I only have 7. Oh, I don't need 9, but I do have 9, 8, 9. I already have 3, so I only need 6. Okay, my math isn't mathing, but I definitely have enough hearts. That was a little happy shimmy that you couldn't see that just probably gave you motion sickness.
Shopping in Paris or go sailing overseas and just drape me in Gucci, no. All I ever asked was you to pick up the phone when you alone. All I ever asked was you to show me some love, kisses and hugs. No, I never had an issue, go to the club with your boys, baby. I never wanted you to stay too long, just wanted you to show me up.
Alright guys, I wanted to pop in really quick and talk about this yarn. It is from Big Twist. It's the Baby Bunny yarn. It's 65% polyester and 35% viscose? I don't know how to pronounce that. Color lavender, and it is a weight 1 yarn, super fine, and the recommended hook size is 2.5. Anyways, here you go. Here's the information on the yarn. So I have never used a weight 1 yarn before, and the reason I picked this was because when I was looking up this project, she said to use a fine weight yarn, which is a number 2, but when I was at Joann's, it was really hard to find any size 2 yarn. I could find size 4, size 1. Finding that size 2 and size 3 was really challenging, and also the yarn not being acrylic was important to me because I've only ever really used acrylic yarn with my wearables, and they tend to be like really heavy. I don't know how else to say it, but like heavy and kind of not thick, but super insulating, where you're almost feeling like overly warm, if that makes sense. So I wanted something that wouldn't feel that way. And what gravitated me towards this yarn was, one, I didn't know it was super fine when I first picked it up. I really liked the color, and then I felt it, and you guys, this yarn is so soft. Like, I don't know. I think anything that has the word baby in it typically is soft, but this yarn in particular is just, I really like the way it feels. I like the way it feels when I'm working with it. It doesn't, like, you know how sometimes when you're crocheting and the yarn slides across your finger, it kind of starts to agitate you? This yarn doesn't do that. I don't have any agitation when working with it. Now, all of that being said, this is a super fine yarn. It is a weight 1 yarn, and it is loose and flowy, and it does feel very light, and I do like that. Working with it is okay. I do find that sometimes my hook, I do this when I'm crocheting, my hook slips off the yarn. It doesn't peel too much, which I like. I don't find that it starts to peel, like, you know how if you accidentally kind of get your hook in between the fibers and then the yarn starts to peel, it doesn't really do that. I haven't tried to do any weaving with it. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna weave in the ends. I'm trying to put my daughter to sleep, and she's refusing, you guys. This is like the second time. She should be tired. Okay, super quick. I'm gonna finish this up, but I do recommend this yarn if you're looking for a super fine yarn or something to make a lightweight fabric. But I gotta go. She's awake still. I'm really excited to see how this comes out. I did finish 1 whole skein of yarn, so this and this piece here was 1 whole skein of yarn. I did buy 4 of these, I think. I'm gonna have extras. All right, gotta go. The baby. Bye. I think that this is going to be long enough for the front panel. I was originally going to make, you know, like a full piece, but because it's taking so long, I'm just going to make a shrug, kind of like the pink one that I made previously. So this will be the front piece. And then it took me about, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I have no clue. It took a while though. I did make some mistakes. So I'm going to make this the back piece and then hope that the next one, since I've learned a lot, is the front. So like, for example, right here, I forgot to chain, you can see, and that happened more than once. I'm gonna watch the video before I cut it because I do know that this pattern adds some like top pieces for the shoulders to give it more of a neckline. So I'm gonna watch that back and see if I need to do anything before I cut it off. And then I'll start on the back piece. I swear I checked this when I first started sewing. I'm watching sewing videos, and this thing is 3 rows larger than what the back piece is. So all of that work down the drain. I would have sworn to you that this was 128 rows, but when I did this 128 rows and I first went across, I didn't have enough at the end to finish it out. It was like 4 stitches short. So I undid the first row. I added 4 extra stitches on top of the 4 that you're supposed to add in the pattern. And then I went through and I was like, okay, cool. But I never remeasured it. That is way more than 4 stitches. I'm gonna go back and recount my bottom row and see what happened. But all in all, this is gonna have to be undone and redone. This is at least 7 rows and close to 128 stitches or more. Yeah, I'm a little bummed about it, but I'm not gonna let myself get down and out. I'm just gonna start over. Am I going crazy? I frogged this back and I was like, let me see how big the chain is. You guys, I told you I measured it. It fits. What is happening? Okay, it's not exact because when I originally did this back panel, I was short on my stitch here, which you can see I only had chained 2, but I wasn't wait, or is it over here? Yeah, over here I had only chained 2, and then like over time I built it to be the right way, but this one was absolutely perfect. So this is the size that this should have been, but it's just a little bit bigger. I'm not tripping. So let me just say I figured out what I was doing. So on this chain here, it's a chain 5, and I was chaining 6 because I would close off this 4 double crochet together. Like you chain it to close it off. I wasn't counting that. And then I would chain another 5. So it was adding length a little bit, just a little bit each time. So that's how over time I had gotten it up to like 24.5 inches instead of the 23 it's supposed to be. After last night, I decided that I'm going to actually make it short sleeve, because could you imagine doing this to full sleeve length? But I'm gonna add some really cute, so it's gonna be like a cropped with like tassels on the bottom. Okay, you probably can't see the vision yet, but I'm gonna bring it to life. So I have one sleeve done. I'm gonna do the other sleeve as quickly as I can, and then I'm gonna sew it all together, and hopefully I can have it all sewn together today, and then start adding the tassels, because this shouldn't take me too long. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It really helps me in the algorithm. Here's the granny square sweater I crocheted for my daughter. I will insert some pictures of her wearing it. It was definitely fun to make. I started crocheting this like in December of last year because I had it in my mind that I was gonna make 2 of them, one for each of my daughters, but it just did not pan out that way because I got caught up in so many other projects. I was just unable to complete enough squares to get it done, and they kind of just fell to the back burner. But I did have enough to create this sweater, and I will say that the sweater isn't perfect. I know I say that about everything I make, but this sweater really isn't perfect. Mostly because I messed up on the ribbing down here. I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong. It's not the first time I've done ribbing on a sweater. It is the first time it's come out like this. I think this is the first time I've done half double crochet ribbing, and it just kind of looks a little bit wavy, which typically I would assume means maybe I did not skip enough stitches between each one, but I was skipping like 1 stitch. I don't know. But all in all, I still think she looks really cute in it. The sleeves are a little bit long, but it was just because I couldn't change the size of the granny square because I wanted them to all be the same. I would have had to try to use a smaller hook or make smaller granny squares if I wanted the arm length to be a little bit shorter for her. But yeah, she looks super cute in it. And I will say that this sweater is so warm. It is made out of acrylic, 100% acrylic, and it is worsted weight, and it is just so warm. I could tell like when she was in it, it's cold in Texas right now, but I could tell like when she was in it, it was keeping her fairly warm. She could definitely wear this outside and it would keep her pretty warm, even with all the holes. I don't know if you can tell, so this was made with the worsted weight size 4, and then the one I have on was made with a weight 1 yarn, which is a super fine lace weight yarn. And it is, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is a lot more like flowy and light, whereas this one is going to be heavier. It's going to be more warm. This one isn't warm at all. It feels very lightweight, very comfortable. And the original pattern is for an entire shirt that is long sleeves, but I just ran out of time. So yeah, I tried to do my best with the time that I had, and I do hope that you guys like my shirt or the sweater. I also did crochet a Valentine's Day hat for my oldest daughter. I'll insert a picture here. She wore it. I used a size 6 hook, which is just too big for this pattern, and it was the recommended hook size in the pattern that I had purchased. This is one of the first patterns I had ever purchased, so I should have known better now to like size down the hook or whatever, but it just skipped my mind. She was able to wear it with her curly hair. It just took up some of the space of the hat. That's it for me this week, guys. I hope I see you next week. I'm actually going to be putting up my first type of tutorial. It is for the stitch markers that I make. Hopefully I'll see you then. All right, you guys, bye.